My mom took my new phone and gave it to my cousin, claiming she deserves it more. Let me back up. I'd been using my brother's cracked hand-me-downs for years. Every time he got a new phone from Dad, I'd inherit his old one. Broken screen, battery dies at 40%, storage completely full of his apps and photos he never bothered deleting. Dad's excuse was always the same. Why waste money when you already have a perfectly functioning phone? Functioning was debatable, but I learned to stop asking. So, when I turned 16, I decided to change things myself. I got a job at the convenience store 3 blocks from our house. Minimum wage, but I didn't care. Every shift, every dollar went straight into a shoebox under my bed. No spending on anything. 3 months of early mornings and late nights dealing with rude customers and mopping floors. On my birthday, I combined my savings with the cash gifts from relatives and finally had enough. I went to the store and bought it. A brand new phone still in the sealed box with my name on the receipt. I'd never felt prouder of anything in my entire life. It was mine. Something I'd earned completely on my own. For 2 days, everything was perfect. I set it up exactly how I wanted. No one else's junk cluttering it up. Clean, fast mine. Then my cousin showed up. She lives 4 streets over, but rarely visits unless she wants something. The second she walked in, her eyes locked onto my phone, sitting on the kitchen counter. She picked it up without asking, started scrolling through it, asking question after question. What model is it? How much did it cost? Does it have a good camera? Where did you buy it? I answered because honestly, I was proud. I worked hard for this. Then she hit me with the request. Can I borrow it for a few weeks? I want to show it off at school. My friends would be so jealous. I laughed because I thought she was joking. When I realized she wasn't, I said, "No, it's brand new. I just got it and I need it. If you take it, I'll be back to using my brother's trash phone." Her smile disappeared. She didn't say anything else, just walked away and went to find my mom in the living room. I heard them whispering, but couldn't make out the words. Whatever. I had work in 20 minutes. Company policy is strict. No phones on the floor. They're worried about theft or employees wasting time. So, I left mine in my desk drawer at home like always. I worked my full 8-hour shift, restocked shelves, ran the register, cleaned up a spill in aisle 3. Normal day. I came home exhausted, went straight to my room, opened the drawer, and my heart dropped. Empty. The phone was gone. The box was gone. Even the receipt I'd carefully tucked inside was missing. I ran downstairs and found my mom watching TV like nothing happened. I asked her where my phone was, trying to stay calm. She didn't even look at me. "Your cousin wanted to borrow it for a while, so I told her where you kept it. She came by and picked it up." I stared at her. "You gave away my phone? The one I bought with my own money?" She finally turned to face me, annoyed. "Don't be so selfish. She's your cousin. She only wants it for a few months. And she deserves nice things too. You'll get it back eventually." I didn't wait for her to say anything else. I grabbed my brother's old phone, which barely turned on, and walked 4 streets over to my aunt's house. I knocked until someone answered. My cousin opened the door, my phone in her hand, already taking selfies with it. I asked for it back. She called for her mom. My aunt came to the door, arms crossed. "We're not giving it back. Your cousin is such a good girl, and she deserves this more than you. She'll use it for a few months, maybe longer, and then you can have it back if she's done with it." I told them that was theft. I paid for it with money I earned. My aunt's face went pale. "Listen, your mom needed money for something, and we had a deal." I stared at her, confused. My mom sold them my phone? Before I could process it, my cousin blurted out that this wasn't the first time. Mom had been taking my things and giving them away for months. My aunt tried to shush her, but it was too late. My hands were shaking as I stood there on their porch, like I couldn't even process what was happening. "What do you mean this isn't the first time?" I asked, my voice barely steady. My cousin looked at me with this smug expression, crossing her arms. "Your mom's been bringing stuff over for months. That hoodie you thought you lost? Yeah, I'm wearing it right now under my jacket. Those earbuds you couldn't find? Check my bag. She brings us things all the time." My aunt grabbed my cousin's arm, trying to pull her back inside. "Shut up. You're making things worse." But my cousin kept going, apparently enjoying this. "She even brought over that book series you were collecting. The special editions? I sold those online for like $80. Thanks, by the way." I felt sick, actually sick. My stomach was churning and I thought I might throw up right there on their steps. "I need my phone back, right now." "Not happening," my aunt said, moving to close the door. "Your mother and I have an arrangement. She owes me money, and until that debt is paid, we're keeping what we're given. It's called collateral." I stood there for a second, trying to figure out what to do. Part of me wanted to force my way in and just take it, but I'm not like that. So instead, I pulled out my brother's barely functioning phone and said, "Fine, but you're going to regret this." My aunt laughed, actually laughed. "What are you gonna do? Tell your dad? He doesn't care about you any more than your mom does. Face it, sweetheart, you're not the priority in that family." That hit different, because deep down, I knew she was probably right, but I wasn't about to let her see me break down. I turned around and walked back home, my mind racing the entire time. When I got home, my mom was still on the couch, flipping through channels like she hadn't just ruined my life. I stood in the doorway of the living room, just staring at her. She glanced over at me. "What? You sold my phone?" "I didn't sell it. I let your cousin borrow it. My aunt just told me you owed her money. She said it was collateral for a debt." Mom's face twitched, just for a second, but I caught it. She was caught. "It's complicated. You wouldn't understand." "Then explain it to me. Make me understand why you stole from your own kid." She stood up, irritated now. "Don't you dare talk to me like that. I'm your mother. I put a roof over your head, food on the table. You think you're entitled to everything just because you worked a few shifts at some dead-end store? I worked 3 months for that phone, Mom. 3 months, and you just gave it away like it was nothing." She waved her hand dismissively. "You'll get over it. You always do. Now drop it. I don't want to hear about this anymore." But I couldn't drop it. I went upstairs, slammed my door, and sat on my bed, trying to think. My phone was gone. My stuff was gone. And apparently, my mom had been stealing from me for months, without me even noticing. How much had she taken? What else was missing that I just assumed I'd misplaced? I started going through my room, checking drawers, my closet, under my bed, and sure enough, things were missing. A necklace my grandma gave me, a watch I got for my 15th birthday, even some cash I'd been saving in an old wallet. All gone. I sat there on the floor, surrounded by everything I owned, realizing that the person who was supposed to protect me was the one stealing from me. And honestly, I didn't even know what to do about it. Everything I thought I knew about my mom was a lie, and now I had a choice that would tear our family apart forever. I didn't sleep that night, not even a little bit. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out my next move. By the time the sun came up, I'd made a decision. I wasn't going to let this go. I couldn't. At breakfast, my mom acted like everything was normal. She made herself coffee, scrolled through her phone, asked my brother if he wanted pancakes. She didn't even look at me. It was like I didn't exist. My dad had already left for work, so it was just the three of us. "Mom," I said, keeping my voice steady, "we need to talk." She glanced up, annoyed. "I already told you. Drop it." "No, I'm not dropping it. You stole from me. You've been stealing from me for months. I want to know why." My brother looked up from his cereal, clearly uncomfortable. He didn't say anything, just kept eating and pretending he wasn't listening. Mom set her phone down, and for the first time, she actually looked at me. "Fine. You want the truth? I needed money. Your aunt lent me some, and I've been paying her back. By giving her my stuff, by giving her things you weren't even using. I was using all of it. That's the point. Those were mine, and you had no right to take them." She stood up, slamming her coffee mug on the counter. "I have every right. I'm your mother. Everything in this house belongs to me, including the stuff you think is yours. You're 16. You don't own anything." I felt my chest tighten. I earned that phone. I worked for it. That was mine. And now it's your cousin's. Get over it. I left the kitchen before I said something I couldn't take back. I grabbed my brother's old phone and headed to work. I was supposed to open that morning, and honestly, I needed to get out of that house before I lost it. My shift was brutal. I couldn't focus. I kept messing up orders, almost gave the wrong change to 3 different customers, and spent most of my time in the back room just trying to breathe. My manager noticed and asked if I was okay. I lied and said I was fine, but I wasn't fine. I was pissed. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized my mom wasn't just stealing from me, she was using me. She saw me as an easy target, someone who wouldn't fight back, someone who would just accept whatever she did because, what? She's my mom? Well, not anymore. When I got home that evening, I went straight to my room and started searching. If my mom had been stealing from me for months, there had to be proof somewhere. Texts, emails, something. I logged into my old email account on my brother's phone and started scrolling. And there it was. An email from my aunt, sent 2 months ago. The subject line, items received. I opened it, and my stomach dropped. "Thanks for dropping off the headphones and the hoodie. I sold the headphones online for $40. Let me know when you have more. We'll keep deducting from what you owe." More. There were more emails, dozens of them, going back 6 months. My mom had been systematically taking my things and giving them to my aunt, who was either keeping them or selling them to cover my mom's debt. I scrolled through message after message. My gaming controller, my skateboard, a jacket I'd saved up for, even birthday money that relatives had given me. All gone, all taken, all sold. I took screenshots of everything, every single email. I didn't know what I was going to do with them yet, but I knew I needed proof. That night, my dad came home late. He looked exhausted, like he always did after a long day at work. I waited until he'd settled in, then I knocked on his office door. "Hey, kiddo," he said, barely looking up from his laptop. "What's up? I need to talk to you about something. It's important." He sighed, clearly not in the mood, but he closed his laptop and gestured for me to sit. "All right." I pulled out my brother's phone and showed him the emails. All of them. He read through them slowly, his expression changing from confusion to disbelief to something I'd never seen before. Anger. Real, genuine anger. "She's been stealing from you? For 6 months. Maybe longer. She's been giving my stuff to Aunt Michelle to pay off some debt she owes." Dad set the phone down and rubbed his face. "How much does she owe?" According to one of the emails, $3,500, but that was from a month ago. It might be more now. He didn't say anything for a long time, just sat there, staring at the desk. Finally, he looked at me. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "I didn't know until yesterday. She took my phone, the one I bought with my own money, and gave it to my cousin. When I went to get it back, my aunt told me it was collateral. That's when I found out about everything else." Dad stood up, his jaw tight. "Where's your mother?" "Downstairs." He walked out of the office without another word, and I followed. My mom was in the living room, watching TV like always. When she saw my dad's face, she knew something was wrong. "What?" she asked, defensive already. "We need to talk, now." She stood up, crossing her arms. "About what?" "About the fact that you've been stealing from our child and selling their belongings to pay off a debt I didn't even know existed." Her face went pale. "It's not like that." "Then what is it like?" "Because I just read through 6 months of emails between you and your sister, and it sounds exactly like that." Mom looked at me, her expression shifting from panic to anger. "You went through my emails?" "They were in my email account," I shot back. "You were using my email to coordinate stealing from me." Dad held up a hand. Stop, both of you. I want the truth, and I want it now. How much do you owe Michelle? Mom hesitated, then finally muttered. 3,000. 3,500, I corrected, holding up the phone. As of a month ago. Dad's face went red. 3.5 grand? What the hell did you spend that money on? Mom looked away, refusing to answer. The silence stretched on, thick and uncomfortable. Finally, she whispered, I needed it. For what? For things. I don't have to explain myself to you. Yes, you do. You're my wife. We're supposed to be a team. You don't get to rack up thousands of dollars in debt and steal from our kid without explaining yourself. She crossed her arms tighter, her face hard. Fine. You want to know? I borrowed money from Michelle because I needed it for bills, because you're never home, because I'm stuck here taking care of everything by myself. And yes, I gave her some things to pay her back, things that weren't being used, things that were just sitting around. That phone wasn't just sitting around, I said, my voice shaking. I worked 3 months to buy it, 3 months, and you'll survive without it, Mom snapped. You're so dramatic. It's just a phone. Dad stepped between us. Enough. This stops now. You're going to get that phone back, and you're going to return everything else you took. And then you're going to explain to me where that $3,500 actually went, because I don't believe for a second it all went to bills. Mom's face crumpled. For a second, I thought she might actually tell the truth, but then she just shook her head and walked out of the room. We heard her footsteps going up the stairs, and then her bedroom door slammed shut. Dad looked at me, exhausted. I'm sorry. I had no idea this was happening. It's not your fault. It kind of is. I should have noticed. He pulled out his phone and called my aunt. I could only hear his side of the conversation, but it was clear she wasn't giving up the phone without a fight. After a few minutes, he hung up and shook his head. She says it's not her problem, that your mom made the deal and she's just holding up her end. I felt my chest tighten again. So that's it? She just gets to keep it? No, I'll figure something out. I promise. But I didn't want promises. I wanted my phone back. I wanted my stuff back. I wanted my mom to actually face consequences for what she did, and I was going to make sure she did. The next morning, I didn't go to school. I told my dad I was sick, and he believed me because, honestly, I probably looked like hell. I hadn't slept, I'd barely eaten, and I was running on pure anger at that point. As soon as everyone left Dad to work, my brother to school, Mom to wherever she went during the day, I grabbed my brother's phone and headed to my aunt's house. But I didn't knock on the door. Instead, I walked around to the side of the house, where I knew they kept a spare key hidden under this ugly garden gnome by the back door. My cousin had told me about it years ago, back when we were still on good terms. I found the key, unlocked the door, and slipped inside. The house was quiet, empty. My aunt was at work, and my cousin was at school. I had maybe 2 hours before anyone came home. I went straight to my cousin's room. It was exactly how I remembered it. Messy, clothes everywhere, makeup scattered across the desk, and there, sitting on her nightstand, was my phone. I grabbed it, my hands shaking. For a second, I thought about just leaving, taking my phone and getting out. But then I remembered all the other stuff my mom had given away. The emails said my aunt had kept some things and sold others. If there was anything left, it would be here. I started searching. Under the bed, in the closet, through drawers, and then I found it. A cardboard box shoved in the back of her closet, hidden behind a pile of shoes. I pulled it out and opened it, and my heart sank. Everything was there. My headphones, my watch, the necklace from my grandma, my gaming controller, even the birthday cards with cash still inside. She hadn't sold any of it. She'd just kept it, like some kind of trophy collection. I wanted to take everything, just grab the box and run. But then I had a better idea. I left everything except my phone. Then I went to my cousin's desk and opened her laptop. She didn't have a password, which made things easier. I opened her messages and started creating fake conversations. Screenshots that made it look like she'd been bragging about scamming family members, about stealing from me and selling my stuff online. I made it look real. Timestamps, contact names, everything. Then I saved the screenshots to her desktop, labeled them clearly, and shut the laptop. I put the box back exactly where I found it, locked the door behind me, and walked home. By the time my cousin got home from school, I was already back in my room, setting up my phone like nothing had happened. And then I waited. It didn't take long. Around 6 p.m., I heard yelling. Loud, angry yelling coming from my aunt's house 4 streets over. I couldn't make out the words, but I didn't need to. I knew exactly what was happening. My phone buzzed. A text from my cousin. I know what you did. I didn't respond. I just smiled and blocked her number. The next morning, my aunt showed up at our house. She didn't knock. She just barged in, furious, and started screaming at my mom in the living room. I stayed upstairs, but I could hear everything. Your kid is a liar and a thief, my aunt yelled. What are you talking about? My mom asked, clearly confused. I found proof that your daughter has been stealing from us. From me, from my daughter, from everyone. She's been selling our stuff online and keeping the money. There was a pause. Then my mom said, that doesn't make any sense. She's the one who's been stolen from. Oh, really? Then explain the screenshots I found on my daughter's laptop. Messages where she's bragging about scamming you, about taking things and selling them. She's been playing both sides, and I'm done with it. I crept to the top of the stairs, peeking down. My mom looked genuinely confused, but my aunt was on a roll. You owe me money, real money. And until I get it, I'm keeping everything she left at my house. The headphones, the jewelry, all of it. Consider it payment for the trouble. Wait, my mom said, her voice shaking. How much do I actually owe you? My aunt pulled out her phone, scrolling through something. Let's see. You borrowed $1,200 last year for your shopping addiction, then another $800 for those online courses you never finished, then $500 here, $300 there. It adds up. You owe me $3,500, and that's not counting interest. You said it was $2,000. That was before you kept borrowing? Every time you asked for more, I added it to the tab. You think I'm stupid? I keep track of everything. My mom sank onto the couch, her head in her hands. My aunt stood there, arms crossed, glaring at her. And then, just as things couldn't get more awkward, my dad walked in. He'd come home early from work, probably because my mom had texted him about the fight. He looked between the two of them, his expression hard. What's going on? My aunt turned to him, still furious. Your wife owes me $3,500, and apparently your daughter has been stealing from my family to pay it back. Dad's eyes narrowed. That's not true. I have proof. Then show me. She pulled up the screenshots on her phone, the ones I'd faked, and showed them to my dad. He looked at them, then at me standing at the top of the stairs. I kept my face neutral, like I had no idea what was going on. Dad handed the phone back to my aunt. Those are fake. What? Those are fake. My daughter didn't write those. And I know that because I've seen the real emails between you and my wife, the ones where you two were coordinating stealing from my kid. So unless you want me to forward those to the rest of the family, I suggest you drop this and give back everything you took. My aunt's face went white. She opened her mouth, closed it, then finally just turned and walked out, slamming the door behind her. My mom looked at my dad, her face pale. I can explain. Don't. He walked past her, heading upstairs. When he reached me, he put a hand on my shoulder. You okay? I nodded. Yeah, good. We'll figure this out. But I already had figured it out. I had my phone back. I had proof of what my mom had been doing, and I'd managed to turn my aunt and my cousin against each other without lifting a finger. Now came the hard part. That night, I couldn't sleep again. My mind kept replaying everything. The fight, the emails, the way my mom just sat there and didn't even try to defend herself. I kept thinking about what my aunt said. Shopping addiction? That wasn't just a debt. That was a problem. A real problem. Around midnight, I heard voices downstairs. Loud voices. I crept to the top of the stairs and listened. You gambled it away? My dad's voice, louder than I'd ever heard it. All of it? I didn't mean to, my mom said, her voice shaking. It started small. Just a few online games. I thought I could win it back. You thought you could win back $3,500? It wasn't $3,500 at first. It was $200. Then I lost that. So I borrowed more to try again. And it spiraled. There was a long silence. Then my dad said, You used my credit card. I was going to pay it back. With what? More stolen items from our kids' room? I heard something slam, probably a door or a cabinet. My dad never got violent, but he was clearly at his limit. I can't do this right now, he said. I need to think. Please don't leave. I'm not leaving. I'm going for a drive. I'll be back in an hour. But when I get back, we're going to have a very long conversation about what happens next. I heard the front door open and close, then silence. I waited a few minutes, then went downstairs. My mom was sitting at the kitchen table, her head in her hands, crying. When she saw me, she quickly wiped her face. What are you doing up? I heard you and Dad fighting. She didn't say anything, just stared at the table. I pulled out a chair and sat across from her. Gambling? She nodded, not meeting my eyes. How long? A year, maybe longer. I don't know anymore. And you used my stuff to pay off Aunt Michelle so Dad wouldn't find out about the credit card. Another nod. I sat there, trying to process it all. My mom wasn't just a thief. She was an addict. And she'd use me her own kid to cover it up. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. But sorry wasn't enough. Sorry didn't give me back the 6 months of stuff she'd stolen. Sorry didn't undo the fact that she'd betrayed me in the worst possible way. I don't forgive you, I said, standing up. And I don't know if I ever will. I went back to my room and locked the door. I didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want to see her. I just wanted this whole nightmare to be over. The next day, my dad called a family meeting. My brother, my mom, and I all sat in the living room while he stood in front of us, his arms crossed. Here's what's going to happen, he said. First, your mother is going to get help. Therapy, Gamblers, Anonymous, whatever it takes. Second, she's going to get a job and pay back every cent she stole. Not to Michelle, to our kid. Every single dollar. My mom started to protest, but my dad held up a hand. I'm not done. Third, we're cutting off all contact with Michelle and her family until further notice. They knew what was happening and they enabled it. And fourth, if anything like this ever happens again, I'm filing for divorce. Do you understand? My mom nodded, tears streaming down her face. Good. Now I want you to apologize to your child, right now. She turned to me, her face red and blotchy. I'm so sorry. I know I hurt you. I know I broke your trust. I didn't say anything. I just looked at my dad. Can I go now? He nodded. Yeah, you can go. I went back to my room and sat on my bed, staring at my phone. The one I'd worked so hard for. The one my mom had stolen and given away like it meant nothing. I should have felt relieved. My dad was handling it. My mom was going to pay me back. Things were going to get better. But I didn't feel relieved. I felt empty. Because no amount of apologies or repayment could change the fact that my mom had chosen gambling over me. That she'd looked at my hard work and seen an easy solution to her problem. That she'd betrayed me in the worst way possible. And I couldn't just forgive that. Over the next 2 weeks, things were tense. My mom started working at a fast food place down the street, and every paycheck went straight into my account. She hated it. She complained constantly about the hours, the customers, the grease, the smell. But my dad didn't let her quit. "You wanted to know what it felt like?" he'd say. "This is what it feels like." And honestly, I didn't feel bad for her. Not even a little bit. She'd made me work those same kinds of shifts to save up for my phone. Now she was experiencing it firsthand. Meanwhile, I'd started documenting everything. I kept a log of every dollar she deposited, every item she returned, every apology she made. I didn't trust her. I probably never would again. One night, about 2 months into her new job, she knocked on my door. I didn't answer, but she came in anyway. "Can we talk? I'm busy. Please, just for a minute." I sighed and set down my phone. "What?" She sat on the edge of my bed, looking exhausted. Her hands were covered in small burns from the fryer, and she smelled like grease. "I know you're still angry. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I want you to know that I'm trying. I'm really trying. Good for you. I've been going to therapy and GA meetings, and I haven't gambled in 2 months. Great. Is that all?" She looked at me, her eyes wet. "I just want things to go back to normal." "Normal?" I laughed bitterly. "There is no normal anymore, Mom. You ruined that. You stole from me for 6 months. You lied to me. You lied to Dad. You chose gambling over your own kid. That's not something you can just fix with a few therapy sessions and some minimum wage paychecks. I know, but I'm trying. I don't care if you're trying. I care that you did it in the first place. And honestly, I don't think I can trust you anymore. I don't think I even want to." She sat there for a moment, then stood up and left without another word. I heard her crying in her room later that night, but I didn't go check on her. I didn't feel sorry for her. I felt nothing. A few days later, I made a decision. I couldn't stay in that house anymore. Not with her. Not with the constant tension and the fake apologies and the forced family dinners where everyone pretended things were fine. I talked to my friend Jordan, whose parents had a spare room. They'd always liked me. And when I explained the situation, leaving out some of the more dramatic details, they agreed to let me rent the room for cheap. Like, stupidly cheap. Basically just helping with groceries. I told my dad first. He wasn't surprised. "I figured this was coming," he said. "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I need space. From her, from all of this. I can't be here anymore." He nodded. "I get it, but you're always welcome back. You know that, right?" "I know." That night, I started packing. I didn't have much. Most of my stuff had been stolen, remember? But I packed what I had. Clothes, my phone, some books, my laptop, everything that mattered. My mom came in while I was packing. "You're really leaving?" "Yeah, because of me." "Yeah." She sat on my bed, watching me fold clothes. "I don't want you to go. I don't care what you want." "That's fair." She was quiet for a moment, then said, "I ruined everything, didn't I?" I stopped packing and looked at her. "Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. I know. But you still can't forgive me." "No, I can't." She nodded, tears running down her face. "Will you ever?" "I don't know. Maybe. But not anytime soon." She stood up and walked to the door, then paused. "For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. For standing up for yourself. For not letting me get away with it. You're stronger than I ever was." And then she left. The next morning, I loaded my stuff into my dad's car. My brother helped, even though he didn't really understand why I was leaving. He just knew things were bad, and that I needed to go. As we were loading the last box, my mom came outside. She stood in the driveway, watching us. She didn't say anything, just stood there, crying quietly. My dad hugged me before I got in the car. "You call me if you need anything. Anything at all. I will." "And hey," he said, his voice low. "I'm sorry. I should have seen this coming. I should have protected you. It's not your fault, Dad, you didn't know. Still, I'm your father. I should have known." I hugged him tighter. "I love you. I love you too, kiddo." I got in the car and didn't look back. Not at the house, not at my mom standing in the driveway, not at any of it. But before I left, I had one more thing to do. I pulled out my phone and opened the group chat with all our extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, everyone. I'd been added to it years ago for coordinating holidays and birthdays. I attached the recording I'd made weeks ago, the one from my brother's old phone, where my aunt admitted she knew the stuff was stolen, where my mom admitted to owing money, all of it. Then I typed a message, just so everyone knows what's been going on, and I hit send. Within minutes, my phone exploded with messages, questions, accusations, people taking sides, my aunt trying to defend herself, my mom begging people not to listen, other family members expressing shock and disappointment. I muted the chat and put my phone away. I didn't care anymore. They could figure it out themselves. Jordan's parents were waiting when we arrived. They helped me unload my stuff, showed me my new room, and gave me a key to the house. It was small, but it was mine. A space where I didn't have to worry about someone stealing from me or lying to me or betraying me. That night, I lay in my new bed, staring at the ceiling. My phone buzzed with more messages from the family chat, but I ignored them. Then one message came through. From my cousin, "I hope you're happy. You ruined everything." I smiled and typed back, "No, your mom and my mom did. I just made sure everyone knew about it." Then I blocked her number. The next morning, I got a notification. A direct deposit from my mom. The last payment. She'd finally paid me back everything she'd stolen, down to the cent. I stared at the number on my screen. It should have felt like a victory, like justice, but it just felt empty, because money couldn't fix what she'd broken. It couldn't undo the betrayal or rebuild the trust or erase the fact that she'd chosen herself over me, again and again. A few days later, my dad called. He sounded tired. "How are you settling in?" "Good. Jordan's parents are great." "That's good." There was a pause. "Your mom's not doing well." "Okay. She's been asking about you, wondering if you'd want to come by for dinner sometime." "No, I figured, but I had to ask." Another pause. Then he said, "The family's pretty split right now. Half of them are pissed at your mom and Michelle. The other half thinks you shouldn't have sent that recording. I don't care what they think. I know. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Thanksgiving's going to be interesting." I laughed. "I'm not going to Thanksgiving." "I know. I wouldn't either if I were you." We talked for a few more minutes, then hung up. I felt lighter, somehow, like a weight had been lifted. I didn't have to pretend anymore. I didn't have to play nice or forgive people who didn't deserve it. I was free. But there was still one more thing I needed to do. I went back to my aunt's house one last time. This time, I didn't sneak in. I walked right up to the front door and knocked. My cousin answered. When she saw me, her face twisted into a sneer. "What do you want?" "I want to return something." I pulled out a bag I'd been carrying. Inside was everything from that box in her closet. My headphones, my watch, the necklace, the birthday cards, all of it. Except it wasn't in the same condition. The headphones, snapped in half. The watch, cracked screen and broken band. The necklace, chain cut into pieces. The birthday cards, torn and crumpled. I dumped the bag at her feet. "You break my trust? I break your stuff," I said. "Fair trade." Her mouth dropped open. You destroyed all of this?" "Yep, just like you and your mom destroyed my relationship with my family. Enjoy." I turned and walked away, ignoring her yelling after me. I didn't care. She'd kept my stuff as trophies. Now she could keep the broken pieces as a reminder. When I got back to Jordan's house, I felt lighter, like I'd finally closed that chapter. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't hurt. I was just done. Done with my mom, done with my aunt, done with my cousin, done with all of it. I had my phone. I had my dignity. I had money in my account that I'd earned myself, and I had a fresh start. That was enough. A few weeks later, I was sitting in my room when my phone buzzed. It was my mom. I'd blocked her number, but she was calling from a different phone. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Hello? It's me," she said. Her voice was quiet, broken. "I just wanted to say goodbye." "Goodbye? I'm going to rehab. A real program. Inpatient. Your dad thinks it's the best option. I'll be gone for 3 months." "Okay, I know you don't want to hear this, but I need to say it. I'm sorry. For everything. For stealing from you. For lying. For choosing my addiction over you. You deserved better." I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to say. "I don't expect you to forgive me," she continued. "I don't even expect you to talk to me when I get out. But I needed you to know that I'm trying. Really trying this time. Good luck," I said. And I meant it. Not because I forgave her, but because I genuinely hoped she'd get better. Not for me. For herself. "Thank you," she whispered. "I love you." "I know." And then I hung up. I sat there for a moment, staring at my phone. Part of me felt guilty for not saying it back, but I couldn't. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Because love isn't just a word. It's actions. And her actions had shown me exactly where I stood in her priorities. So I put my phone down, went downstairs, and had dinner with Jordan's family. They asked me about school, about work, about my plans for the future, normal stuff, family stuff. And for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. That night, I lay in bed thinking about everything that had happened. The phone, the theft, the betrayal, the revenge, the recording, the move, and I realized something. I didn't need my mom's approval anymore. I didn't need her love or her apologies or her promises to change. I didn't need anything from her, because I'd done something she never could. I'd stood up for myself. I'd fought back. I'd refused to be a victim. And yeah, maybe I'd gone a little overboard with the fake screenshots and the broken stuff. Maybe I'd been petty and vindictive and borderline cruel, but she'd stolen from me. She'd lied to me. She'd betrayed me. And in the end, she'd paid the price. My aunt never spoke to my mom again. My cousin switched schools to escape the rumors. My mom spent 3 months in rehab, and from what I heard, she actually stuck with it. She got clean, kept her job, started paying off her debts, but I never went back. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.